Oh man, so the other day we talked about Kanye West and his apology to the Jewish rabbi and the Jewish community, you feel me? You know, they was holding hands and hugging and all that good stuff. And there was a lot of different reactions, but right here we talking about Nicki Minaj and the Joe Budden podcast reaction, all right? So Nicki Minaj said this right here, so happy to see Kanye publicly take accountability for the pain his words may have caused to so many, standing with our Jewish brothers and sisters, all right? Now, Nicki Minaj been seeming to get into her political and humanitarian bag lately. She's been saying a lot of things to ruffle feathers as far as American politics. People been calling her MAGA Barbie due to her interactions with Donald Trump. All the while, Nicki Minaj just found out that she could actually vote. You know, she's Trinidadian, so she didn't understand that point, but now she can vote. So that lets you know that she wasn't voting in any elections before, obviously, right? But once again, she's been very involved in these type of discussions when it comes to politics and humanitarian things, and also showing support in Jamaica. After the horrible hurricane, her team sent a lot of supplies and support for the citizens of Jamaica, man. So Nicki Minaj got a lot going on out here right now, but let's go ahead and get on to the JBP and their response to what Kanye West had to say.
However long it was, I don't know. I don't want to be semantical. He made a mistake. Cool. Kanye didn't make a mistake. He repeatedly kept doing these things.
Oh, so you put nothing toward.
Let me finish my sentence, please. Let me finish my sentence. I think that when you continue with a pattern of behavior, it's who you are. I think when you keep saying these things, so you can now come out and say, yo, dog, I shouldn't have said those things because they were hurtful.
So you don't believe it's conditional?
Joe, let me finish, please. You can say I said these things because they were hurtful, but that don't mean I don't believe them. I shouldn't have said them, maybe publicly, but that don't mean I don't believe those things. You understand what I'm saying? So I think the real apology is change behavior, and we'll see.
You think he an asshole with bipolar?
This is not Minority Report where you get to castrate people for their thoughts. What the f*** are you talking about over there?
Who said that you do?
We wouldn't know your thoughts if you ain't saying.
They took Donald Sterling's team not because of what he thought, but because you said something publicly and they recorded it. The same here. Like, you could think whatever you want. He said a bunch of shit, but back to the question I was trying to ask you, you put nothing on his condition. Because everything you just said, I put toward his condition.
And those conditions, again, as someone who's been very close to them, are intense.
So you give more grace to the guy that don't have no condition, get on Twitter, say a whole bunch of foul shit, a few years later take it back, do the apology, than the dude that's sick.
No, I'm saying that you could potentially be sick. It's like, what's the quote? A drunk tongue speaks a sober mind.
This ain't drunk.
I'm just making an analogy.
Yeah, I get it.
Again, a drunk tongue speaks a sober mind. So yeah, you could be sick, and when you go through whatever the case may be and you're not on your medication, your true thoughts come out.
I think that's some sick shit you're saying.
That's not accurate.
That's some sick shit you're saying.
That's inaccurate.
Okay.
That's inaccurate. Again, as someone, and shout out to anybody that's dealing with people with these conditions or suffering from these conditions directly. And again, I'm not forgiving Kanye across the board, but that shit is intense, and it's not just I'm saying what I really feel. Like that, it's a mania. It's
right.
You're not.
That's y'all fam. I hear y'all. I deal with that in my personal life as well. And those people that say that mean shit comes from somewhere. That's a thought that they have in their head. That mean shit comes from where, and they keep repeating it.
No more.
Yeah, and they keep, bro. All right, cool.
But okay.
You're not the only person that have dealt with that shit. I've dealt with that shit on a consistent basis, and that shit comes from somewhere.
But it also cannot.
Right, I follow.
But it also cannot.
I don't want to
be circular about it.
Yeah, I will say this. Yes, certain mental illnesses can make you say what's inside, and it can make you say them louder. But they can also, certain psychoses produce delusion.
Right.
So you can also, for example, watch a bunch of racist people say racist shit, and you have a mental illness. You start parroting what they say, and that's not actually what you feel. So sometimes it's the drunk tongue. I think you're right, but sometimes it's not. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to diagnose Kanye because I'm not his doctor.
I don't even like the drunk tongue example. And that's why you're talking about somebody that's truly sick. If you believe that, I'm not forcing that.
Yeah,
to believe that.
But yeah, and this is where we should leave it to the mental health professionals. But people say racist things for variety of reasons. Not just 'cause sometimes they're secretly racist. Sometimes they're not, and they're just delusion as part of their psychosis. So, well, We'll find out.
We will find out.
We'll find out. That's the point.
One of my favorite TikTok pages is a guy who goes back and talks about the times he was in like manic and medicated now, but often when he's telling them stories, he's like, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe it's so far from what he is. Painting his nails, shaving his head, and he'll show the videos, but it's one of my favorite pages. I love you.
Thank you.
Okay.
And this topic will come up again later in this episode. We got Antonio Brown to talk about.
Yeah.
We got the gentleman from the Cowboys, rest in peace. Marshawn Kneeland.
Rest in peace.
So this topic will come up again. So
just real quick, my only thing with Kanye is he has made this, I believe he's sick, to your point. Mm-hmm. It also looks like, I don't know his personal business. It looks like at times you're not trying to do anything about this, and you're allowing this to keep happening.
That's really tricky because again, as someone who dated for a long time, someone with BPD, which is different from bipolar but similar kind of behaviors, the medication is life altering. They don't feel the same anything. So it's hard for them to stay committed to that, let alone talk about therapy and all the nuance that comes with therapy, and people don't want to go through that. It's really tough. It's
not like to be a crude example. It's not like an STI where it's like, oh, I'm burning, let me take this pill so I don't burn.
No,
it's like the illness itself makes you not want to get better, or it makes you think that you don't need to get better. So it's not like, because it's someone who struggles with depression. People always say, well, why don't you just go to the doctor? Why don't you just take this? It's like, it's not that easy. If it were, we would all do it. So,
and I don't expect the Jewish community to have this same type of grace and warmth.
For sure. And neither does he.
And
that's what he said. He said it brick by brick. He said, I know this is just the first step, because I wouldn't have that response if someone were saying anti-black shit all the time. I would be like, I
don't think it's their job.
I need years. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you a question. Outside of the racial shit never mind.
We're never going to get off of it.
Yeah, we good. We can move forward.
All right, so that's what them boys are talking about, man. Let's look at the reactions. Dude says Ish refuses to ever be wrong. Dude says be for real. What Kanye said, these niggas all agree with. Just too scared to repeat on camera. So yeah, Ish is right. The black community has always been a victim of Jewish infantilization. Hence, they never leave it unguarded because they know it will burst their Jew victimhood bubble. Damn, this is Ish worst take since being on the show. Condition or no condition, some of the things Ye said were true. Not all, but some. Dude says the thing is, we all have some ill thoughts in our mind. His condition amplifies it. This is why I don't judge people. I have my thoughts on situations, but you never know how another person's brain processes it. We can be looking at the same picture and still see something different. Person says, I'm with Ish. This person says he literally told us he been thinking like this, and why before now he hasn't spoken about it. How do they not know this? And this person says, sounds like a personal issue. Ish, you have resentment for whoever in your life has bipolar because you don't understand the condition, because you don't have it. It's the same thing as saying I know what it's like to be gay when you've never been gay. By the way, pretty sure Joe has bipolar. All right, we're not gonna diagnose folks, but if y'all want to see what Kanye said, just rewind that thing back, peep this real quick. Okay, so man, I'm also seeing a lot of people, a lot of folks say things like Kanye West has an apology for the Jewish community, but not an apology for the black community, because he said a lot of things that disparage black folks, including the most famous thing, slavery was a choice. So people are like, okay, you go over there to fix things, but you're never gonna try to come fix things with your own community. So I do believe there's things that he has to address. He never will, but he should address things that he said about black folks. In the midst of Kanye's rants, one thing that I seen was he would use a black plight to go ahead and push his points, but when you seen who he actually surrounded himself with was rarely black people outside of just entertainers. I remember when he was speaking to someone about a lot of his employees quitting on him, and they were Jewish employees, and I'm like, well, okay. I do understand you want to hire the best people to, get the job done, but at the same damn time, like, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of black engineers out there that you could use, but a lot of folks feel like as long as they're the black person there to be the representative of black people, the folks that they surround themselves with in their business don't have to be black. That's how some people feel, but there are a lot of people who don't feel that way. We just need that number to increase so we can continue to spread wealth and build in our community, you feel me? But hey man, y'all let me know what you gotta say in the comment section below. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here though. Once again, hey, listen, every single Wednesday night we going live, man. Live streams every single Wednesday night. Make sure you're in the chat, bit vibe and all that good shit. But let me know what you gotta say in the comment section below. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here though. This is another update with Stace. Yo.